Okay, I wanted to show people a technique that I use for getting string through blocked grommets or tough grommets. For example, the N61 and the K61, they have two strings when you do two-piece. They go over this last cross hole. It makes it real difficult to go in. The first thing you need to do is cut the tip of the string to a point. There's actually more to it than just cutting it at a point. If you take like a starting clamp, or even if you have some thicker pliers and you flatten down the end, it makes it easier to cut it to a point. So if you flatten it out and then take your snips and cut it to a point, as deep a point as you possibly can. It's going to help you a lot if you cut it to a real deep point. Okay. Now, this method is something I use all the time. It's my go-to method. I never use a guide at all. I never have to, because this method works tremendously. And really, I mean, it works about 99% of the time. If I can't get it to work, then I'll use an awl. But really, this works so much, it's not worth using. But what you want to do is get the string started. Now you need to get it, at least the tip of it, into the grommet, or at least snug and pointing towards the grommet. You don't want it off to the side, you don't want it at an angle, you don't want it missing the grommet altogether, because you'll just be pushing it into the frame and it's going to bend. And that's what we're trying to avoid, is having the string bend, because once it bends, it's almost impossible to get it through the grommet. But what you want to do is find out if you're going to go over those two strings, in between them, or underneath them. So if you just kind of look down and you're looking at it from the side, you can see that there is a definite up or a down, or you know, there's a best way to go about it. Sometimes you don't have a choice, like with this one. When you look to the left here, you can see that the string comes over this string as it leaves, so it needs to go over it when it goes back into the frame. So that limits where we can go. But now that we're ready to start putting the string in, what you want to do is get it started, get it snug up against, and then use your pliers to push the string into it. See how I'm just kind of pushing? Now if, as an extreme example, if I were to start with the pliers back here and try and push, the string's going to bend. Okay? The same goes for smaller distances. If I go half the distance, it could still bend. It's probably still going to bend. So the ideal place for your pliers to be is as close to the frame as you possibly can. What I do is I take the pliers and I run them gently up against the string until they touch the frame, and then I take them back just a little bit. Okay? Now if you just with one hand push in and make any kind of progress with getting this string into the grommet, it's going to back out as soon as you let go of this clamp, or as soon as you let go of your pliers. That's why you need to have your left hand behind it, keeping forward pressure to keep any progress you make pushing the string into the grommet in the grommet and keep it from backing out. So I'll just show you how I do that here. And again, got to get it started, aim towards the grommet. Left hand's at the back for pressure, pliers as close to the frame as I can, and a push. Okay, now I'm going to let go, come back a little more, and push. It's hard to see because I'm doing just a little bit at a time. There's no reason to go and shove in a whole inch at a time. But as long as your left hand is on the string and keeping back pressure, none of that little stuff will back out. Come back a little more, push. Now I feel that it's actually in the grommet and the whole tip of the string is past these strings that go this way. So now I can start taking bigger leaps in pushing this string through. If you do this and you get good at it, you'll never have to use an awl again. There are very rare times when you need to use an awl if you know how to push strings through properly. So that's it. That's my technique. I hope that you use it well and use it wisely, and it helps you out a lot, because it's really the only way to do it in my mind, and it's helped me on every single racket I string. So there you are. Thank you.